Sadhu, sadhu.
This is the opening act. Then my turn. Okay, let's meditate. I would suggest that you all spread out and feel a bit more comfortable. Okay, ignore me lah, never mind. Switch off lights. Okay. May I invite everyone to close your eyes. Feel relaxed. You must always feel relaxed. Let your body feel comfortable. If you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can adjust. Any part of your body is uncomfortable, you would say, relax. Feel the body upright. Now slowly take in a deeper breath. Deep in. Breathe out slowly. Deep in. Breathe out slowly. Deep in. Breathe out slowly. Now feel your body. Feel it. Feel the body upright. Relax. Comfortable. The body is comfortable. The body is steady. Can feel the body upright, steady, comfortable. Today we will do a little mudita, appreciative joy. So you reflect like this. On a nice Sunday, we're here in a Dhamma hall. This is your good blessing. Such a meaningful Sunday to sit amongst fellow Buddhists in a nice, comfortable hall. I am blessed. This is my blessing. We live in an age where the Buddha's teaching is still around. And we have the intelligence to understand. This is my blessing. Understanding the Dhamma, understand it well, I will be able to handle all the problems and all the issues life throw at me. the Dhamma gives me the tools to fix my mind. This is my blessing. If you feel joy, pay attention, experience the little quiet joy. Just feel it. You feel the blessing. You feel the gratitude. There will be a little joy. Just feel it. So let the mind settle on the joy. The joy settle in your heart. Your mind is quiet. If the mind is quiet enough, you will be able to observe the breathing. As you observe the breathing, you should tell your mind, be content, be peaceful, relax. So what you're doing, you're observing this breathing and feeling relaxed. Feeling peaceful. In the breathing, you are feeling relaxed and you're feeling peaceful. You do that gently for yourself for just a little while more. Remember this experience. We settled the body. We feel relaxed. Feel peaceful. Watch breathing. I want you to do for yourself 5 more times. 5 in and out breathing. Then when you are done, you can slowly rouse the body. Deepening breathing, stretching your fingers and so on. Stretch your neck. And we can turn on the lights. If you all want to continue sitting, it's fine. But remember, you came here for a Dhamma talk. You go too deep, you hear nothing. How is everyone? Just relax. I'm so sorry, the meditation is so short. Advertisement too long lah. What to do? Okay, shall we begin? How's everyone? You all managed to sit? It's so easy, right? It's easy. It's not difficult to sit once you learn the conditions. It's all about conditions. Okay? Let's begin. For those of you who are new today, I just let you know you have missed 2. Today is like episode 3. And it's a monthly episode. Yeah, it's the worst sequel of the world, right? You take 1 month to play 1 episode. But it's beautiful. 𝑀𝑎ℎ𝑎 Sutta, just to recap, is a poignant story. And much of it is historical. Much of it. But I must say that I'm pretty sure there are some insertions along the way. And today's class carry some of those insertions. I'm very sure. And I will prove it. Okay? And today you will also notice something new, which will to some of you settle the question of the non-order today. You know, the controversy of the non-order, did the Buddha want it, the Buddha didn't want it, was it Ananda's what, la 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 la. Today we'll settle that. Then you say, today? Yes, I will show you also, okay? So today is the 3rd recitation. We're going by the recitations. They're altogether 5. And the 3rd recitations, to me, is the beginning of the end for the Buddha. It's the poignant episode. Okay? Now, let's do a little bit of recap. This is like when you watch a show, right? And then it has an earlier version. Then they will say, it's a little recap. So up until this point, the sutta started, if you recall, the sutta started with King Ajatasattu of Magadha wanting to launch an attack of the Vaishali and went to consult Buddha. Buddha knew that war was coming, gave some advice, and then left. This is an 80-year-old. He was 80-year-old that year. This is 80-year-old, but octogenarian. And not very healthy. He has issues. We know he had issues. He's not a sprightly old man. He had some health issues already. But with war coming, and these are people, he knew Ajatasattu murdered his father. What's some Vaishali mosquitoes? He's just going to squash them. Buddha knew he had to get out of the way. So he packed up, lock, stock, barrel, and many of the monks followed him. They left. They went northwards. And I in my first sutta, I did hinted that it's slightly tracing the route of his journey. It's likely he was heading towards Kosala kingdom. It's not correction, he was heading towards Kapilawatu. He was just 100 miles or so from Kapilawatu when it all ended. Okay? Okay, so along the way, every part of the way, he spoke the Dhamma. His emphasis was the Dhamma message, specifically Dhamma practice. It was almost as if he was telling everyone, look, I'm not going to be around that much longer. Please remember the practice. Dhamma fundamentally is about practice. No point just learning knowledge. It's not going to change you. It's not going to impact you. Knowledge doesn't do that. Knowledge must be paired with practice. Practice means actively working to rewire, transform your mind, so that you see the world differently, you react differently, you make choices differently. That's the kind of transformational impact. Practice leads to that outcome. Okay? Then, he had one major bout of illness. Just a few months after he left Magadha, Rajagaha, he went to this village in Belua, and it was whack. First major episode. He almost died. He had to summon all willpower to stave it off, because he said, not right to not close this properly. He should say something to the Sangha and take leave. So if you look at this, right, the Buddha puts the Sangha above himself. You must remember that. You take leave of your teacher. You think your teacher take leave of you? Right? When you are the junior, you go around and hello, hello. Then when you go off, goodbye, goodbye. You're the junior, ma. You expect the teacher to hello, hello, and goodbye, good. No, right? But here the Buddha is saying it is proper that he should take leave of the Sangha. Which to me means that he's saying Sangha is it. After he's gone, Sangha is it. So he should take leave of the Sangha, okay? And for that, he willed himself back to health. He could do it. We are quite hopeless, but he can, okay? But when he got better, Ananda got really happy, and this is the poignant conversation. Ananda said, oh my gosh, when you were down, I was so afraid I'm going to lose you. My mind couldn't think, it's all forgive. Ananda said. Buddha said, hello. Boy, hello. By the way, they're the same age. Yeah, they're the same age. They're about the same age, they're cousin, okay? The Buddha said, what do you mean? He said, I comforted myself. Buddha will say something to the Sangha. Now, this one and taking leave are not the same thing. He was expecting the Buddha to announce successor. Who's going to take over Sangha after you? Who's going to be first, second, third authority, and so on. Buddha said, I don't do that. I don't see Sangha as belonging to me. It's not my property. I don't do that. You should know better. And then he said, you know how old I am? You know how terrible this body is? It's all in that sutta, in that second recitation. My body's falling apart. It's only when I go into deep jhana, I don't feel pain. I don't have to take Panadol. Otherwise, it's always in pain. So it tells you he was actually struggling with the body. Okay? In the second recitation, you read between the lines, you can tell. He's saying, my body's giving me a lot of problem. It's held together by sheer willpower. You somehow come and tell me, I'm so happy you're okay. Okay, he didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean, okay? So that was up to this point. Today we go into the next. There are two colors here, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's a lot. I don't want to handle this in two parts. I don't want 3, 1, 3, 2, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to focus on the one that is lighted up. It's black. And all those gray bits that you can barely see good. No need to see. You go read it yourself. I'm only focusing on the big one, okay? The major ones that are, in my mind, very significant. The rest are very significant, but only to a practitioner. To a meditator, to an audience like this, you won't know what I'm saying. So it's okay, we move on. We just tell story and move on, okay? An obvious hint. I know you want to read. I would read it. I will say it to you. Okay, the first stanza here, basically the Buddha was telling Ananda. So this is their interaction. What is beautiful there is their little interaction. And they do this very often. The Buddha took his meal, and he's still at 80 going on arms round. Can you see that? In his 80, he went for arms round. So this is an octogenarian going to the streets in 𝑀𝑎ℎ𝑎 waiting for his meal. But of course, he would have no problem. Probably a whole bunch of people line up. And like modern day, probably someone had to go behind him to carry the excess food. Okay? Then he was done, he came back. Then he told Ananda, get your sitting cloth. So even in ancient time, they all had a sitting cloth. Let's go. We go to the shrine. Now, 𝑁𝑎ℎ𝑎, are we going to 𝑁𝑎ℎ𝑎? Plenty of shrines. 𝐻𝑝𝑎ℎ is one shrine. You will notice that everything in 𝑁𝑎ℎ𝑎ℎ is a lot of shrine, which means this place, the people are very religious, very spiritual. Okay, 𝑁𝑎ℎ𝑎ℎ is known for its shrine. So he said, let's go to 𝐻𝑝𝑎ℎ shrine. Come, let's go. Ananda, okay, grabbed things, followed him. Okay, then they sat there. And look at what he said. 𝑁𝑎ℎ𝑎ℎ is lovely. Udena, 𝐺𝐼𝐻𝐸, 7 maidens, many sons. All these are shrines. And they're all lovely. Shrines means places where there are bumas, beings, terrestrial beings. They probably are hovering around waiting for him to come. He said, they're all lovely. Then he said, whoever has developed, cultivated the 4 bases of psychic powers, these are 4 mental states. 𝐸𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸. One more for you to learn. 𝐸𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸, okay? Powers of the mind. And I put it down for you. You just remember this. First one is chanda. Chanda means desire, intention. Second one is virya, effort. Mind, investigation. 4 mental states. These are mental states. The power of the mind. And whoever cultivate, anchor it, strengthen it, becomes a habit. Look at it. Make them a vehicle, a basis, kept them up, consolidate, properly implement. Rest first, okay? I want you to see the words. Look at the words. Make them a vehicle. Yana. This means it is your habit. Make them a vehicle, it becomes part of your instinct, your habit. You kept them up, you constantly build these guys. It's consolidated. And you apply it correctly. So these mental states, 𝐸𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸s, they are mental states. But for the Buddha, it's natural. It's his habit. It's his power. Because the mind, he's so well familiar with this mind, and he has consolidated all this power, he can control his lifespan. May, if they wish, live for the proper lifespan or what's left, which means he can push it to the human limit. So in those days, the human limit was 120 years. You know that you're on national television now. Thank you so much. I repeat, the human lifespan at that time was 120 years. This is their belief. So the Buddha, when he passed on at 80, to them, they felt short-changed by 40 years. Do you understand? That's why there's so much agitation. There's so much of it. It's like, how? Why like that? Difference, 40 years difference. Okay? So here the Buddha said, the realized one, the Buddha has developed, cultivated these mental states, made them weaker, etc., etc. If he wished, he could live for the proper lifespan, 120 years, or what's left. Okay? But Ananda didn't get it. Even though the Buddha dropped such an obvious hint, such a clear sign, he didn't back the Buddha. The Buddha will only push on for that yellow piece. Welfare and happiness of people, out of sympathy for the world, for the benefit, welfare and happiness of gods and men. He will only extend if it's that. He said it 3 times. Ananda said nothing. Buddha got up, said to Ananda, let's go. Okay, the word, so go now at your convenience. That word, think of it as, I mean, in English it just sounds funny, but what's that Chinese phrase? 随意. At your convenience, as you wish. But this is their expression. Okay, go ahead. You ready? Let's go. That's the Angmo version. But at their version, it's like that. So Ananda, okay, got up, bow, get it right, move on. So Ananda left him. This is the part where the Buddha said, hey, you can go. Ananda said, okay, picked up and he left. So Buddha was left alone there, okay? Now, did the conversation take place? I believe it happened, okay? I believe there was that conversation. And because this is between the Buddha and Ananda, it was Ananda who reported it. He must have reported it to the Sangha. That's why it was recorded, okay? I asked this question, did he blame himself? Was it Mara's doing? We don't know. We don't know. Because here it says, it's like his mind was as if possessed by Mara. So when Ananda reported it, he probably said something to the effect, I don't know what caught me. I didn't catch his hint. You see what I'm saying? Right here, in this report, he said, what is reported here doesn't say it's Mara's fault. It merely said, it's as if my mind was caught by Mara. So this is how he reported it. I don't know what got into me. He told me all this. I didn't say anything. Get it? So plausible, right? It's plausible it happened like this. And unlikely it happened like this. But the Sangha blamed him. Because at the subsequent meeting of the Sangha, they blamed him. You. Okay, our Singlish version. You. Why you never say anything? Why you never say anything? 真是笨的嘞你. Okay, maybe they didn't say it like that. You're so stupid, right? I don't think they say it like that. But they're like, hello. Okay. What I thought was interesting, here indicated clearly the power of the mind over the body. So the Buddhists, if you ask me, the Buddhists believe it is possible, but only if you have mastery over the mind, specifically 𝑖𝐷𝑖𝑝𝑎𝑡𝑎. And that one is very hard, okay? That is very hard. It must be deliberate, but once it is made, you cannot change it. So if the Buddha had said, okay, 120, that's it, he cannot change it. Cannot like today 120, tomorrow 110. Day after, get a bit more discount, you cannot. Once you nail it, it's done. That is why he couldn't change it. Once he let it go, that's done, okay? And Buddha, we know, had not attained of desire. So if he were to do it, it had to be for others. So Ananda had to say the right word. He gave him an option. I can do this. Ananda has to say the right word. Ananda didn't say it, it's over. And the right word has to be do it for others. Hang around so that you can help more people. Ananda say the wrong word also won't work. Like if Ananda say for me, it won't work, okay? I need you, my teacher, don't go. It won't work. It has to be for others. Okay, that's 13. Now you look at the number 13. Comes 14, okay? And 14 is unusual because 14, Buddha was alone. You see that? Early on, Ananda was there. So Ananda would have told that story. But 14, Buddha is alone. Who told this story? Okay? So after Ananda left, Mara went up to Buddha, according to this segment, Mara went up to the Buddha and he said, "Sir, could you now become fully extinguished? Now is the time to become fully extinguished. You made this statement. You once made this statement. I want you to remember this line. You once made this statement. Wicked one, I shall not become fully extinguished until I have monk disciples who are competent, educated, assured, learned, have memorized the teaching and practice in line with the teaching. Not until they practice properly, living in line with the teaching. Not until they have learned the tradition and explain, teach, assert, establish, disclose, analyze, make clear. Not until they can legitimately, completely refute the doctrines of others that come out and teach with demonstrable basis. 4 things here. Huh? Today you have Sashmanga. Bante, time to go. Okay? That's basically what he said. Then he went on. You once said, and not until I have non-disciples, and it goes on to the 4 points, and lay disciples, laymen and women who are competent, educated, as the 4 points. Okay? You said that. Today you have all 4. Time to go. Then you also said, I will not become fully extinguished until my spiritual path is successful and prosperous, extensive, popular, widespread, well proclaimed wherever there are gods and men. This is the 5th condition. There are 4 plus 1. Buddha said, relax. It will be soon, 3 months from now. The realization will become fully extinguished. Then you, in your head, in your mind, you should catch on to these lines. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me explain this. As long as A and B are present, Dhamma will live. Do you understand? As long as A and B. So what's A? That you have monastic and lay people must have all 4 communities. Monastic and lay people, competent. What is competent? Competent means skillful. To be skillful, you need to know what you are supposed to be skillful about. Agree? So you have to know the Dhamma to be skillful. You have to know the Dhamma as a condition for skillfulness. Get it? So it implied here is people who understand, know the Dhamma fully. They are educated, assured. Assured means confident. You are competent, you are educated. Competence is that skill. You know how to apply the practice. Educated means you have knowledge, you have understanding. You put these 2 together and you're clear about your thing, you have to be confident. You have to be confident. Assured means confident. Confident, okay? What it means, so in your head you must understand that what it means to be a practitioner will require you to be skillful in the practice, educated, learned in the Dhamma. And you must know it so well that you have that sense that I know what I'm doing. I'm doing right. So all of you, if you're on this path, but you don't have assurance, you're not sure, still unsteady, it means you don't fall into this category yet. You don't fall into this category yet, okay? And now look, memorize the teaching, practice in line with the teaching. Can you see that? There's only one step, huh? That's the first condition. So in our lifetime, if we know there are monks and nuns, laymen and women who meet category A1, we will say, got chance. In this lifetime, in this society, there are individuals with A1. Got chance. Assured. Okay? But having the knowledge and having the skill, not enough. You've got to live in line with the teaching. Practice properly, living in line with the teaching. So the Dhamma practice has to be a part of your daily life. Then you are living in line with the teaching. So, if you have very confident people who talk so confidently, and you know they know their stuff, but they live their life like there's no Dhamma, problem, immediately there is a problem. There's this thing. How come you know so well? You know so well, then you don't live in accordance with Dhamma. Why? They're confident about what? The confident part may be a bit off. So 1 and 2 have to go together. Learn their tradition, explain, teach, assert, establish, disclose, analyze, make clear. This is what the teacher must be able to do. This is the Buddha's expectation of a teacher. To be able, first, to know the context, which is why DFC inserted history. You've got to know the context, where you came from, what the Buddhist community, Buddhism, is about. Learn the tradition. Learn where you come from, the context. Then a teacher, for those of you aspiring to be a teacher, look at what he said. You must be able to explain. Explaining doesn't mean you repeat his words after him. He said, thou shalt not kill. You say, thou shalt not kill. No, you got to explain what's kill, what's thou. You got to say more. Okay, noble truth of dukkha. Noble truth, first noble truth. Noble truth of dukkha. And then you just repeat all the words. Cannot, you got to explain. Make it, simplify it. Connect the dots for people. Make it easier for people to understand and be able to relate to the Dhamma. Teach, okay, you all know teacher, teach. Assert. Assert means you must be able to defend the Dhamma. Defend the argument. I can explain in a friendly crowd, but when there's crowd pushing you, you must still be able to explain. Assert. Establish means from nothing you set up something. So you must be able to explain in such a way that people who know nothing, after they've gone through that session with you, they know something. You have established it for them. Disclose, unveil. Sometimes people don't quite understand. They don't quite get it. You need to connect that dot. You need to break it down so that they get it. And when you teach in that way, to them, to the guy listening, he will say, oh, new stuff. You have disclosed something to them, right? So that's what it means. Teach them something new. Analyze, actually, it means that you can reason the Dhamma out, which means that it's a part of the Dhamma that requires logic and reasoning. To analyze, you must have reasoning. And clarify. So what it means by number 3 is you will, in the age where there are teachers who can do all these things, Dhamma got hope. Condition for propagating Dhamma, they are still there. Do you understand? 1 and 2 is the individual. 3 are the people who can teach and propagate. 4 is also about propagating. Because now you've got to go argue with people. You've got to be able to defend the Dhamma. Do you know why the Dhamma died in India? At some point, we lost teachers who can argue. At some point, the monks were not able to mount an effective defense of the Dhamma. So it started to lose ground. In our time and age, we live in the fortunate age. There are many teachers, Dhamma teachers, many Dhamma teachers out there who can stand the ground and defend the Dhamma. We still need that. You say, but must defend me? Yes, must. Because the world not very bright be elected, right? The world's not very bright. The world is moved by feelings. The world's not necessarily moved by logic and compassion. That's what I mean by the world's not very bright. I'm not talking about dim wit or sharp wit. I'm talking about compassion and wisdom. The world doesn't have a lot of wisdom. Wisdom has to be cultivated. You don't have teachers who can explain the Dhamma properly and defend it properly. The Dhamma will collapse. Did you know that in the Sutta, the Buddha taught his monks how to win a debate? Okay? The Buddha taught his monks how to win. People ask you like that, how you answer? Ayo, not like that, answer like that. He was teaching them, okay? And some of them couldn't argue very well, come back to him and, did you? People say like that. Alah, okay, come here, say that. Let me teach you some more. Okay, you just read through the sutta, you'll find all these cute stories. That is the set. The result of 1, 2, 3, 4 is B. A, 1, 2, 3, 4. The result will be B. The spiritual path, successful and prosperous. It grow, extensive, popular, widespread, well proclaimed. You understand? You must have A, 1, 2, 3, 4 before you can have B. B is what he saw. So we know in the Buddha's lifetime, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and B. They had that in his lifetime. They went from this hero to zero in the land of its birth. That's the tragedy. Okay? But, hello, it went all over the world and now it made its way to Africa. Okay. And all these will ensure the longevity of the Buddha's sasana. Every generation must have this condition. When you see this condition missing, you know the mind is in trouble. Buddha's sasana is ending. Okay? That is the Buddha's description. It may be Mara who threw the word at him, but this is what he said. I have this, I'm ready to go. I'm done, I've done my job. Okay? It's food for thought, huh? Okay. So, the words here, mindful and aware, he surrendered the life force. When he did that, there was an earthquake. Kaboom. Okay? Element, nature reacted. You recall the night of his enlightenment, nature also reacted. There was an earthquake. And now this one. And the Buddha expressed this heartfelt sentiment, comparing the incomparable with the creation of prolonged life. The sage surrendered the life force, happy inside, serene, shattered self-creation like a suit of armor. To be reborn, your mind must create. Your mind must hold, attach, and create. Then the rebirth process continues. He has no self-creation. So when it ends, it ended. Okay, now I'm going to just do it very quickly. This causes of earthquake thing, I'm just going to go it very quickly. Not so important, huh? When the earth shook, Ananda came running back. Okay, my 8 readers say, I see one now. Ananda came running back and said, whoa, that's a big one. There was a big one, right? I think it was literal, not figurative. Because Ananda came running back. And also now Ananda is back. Now Ananda is having that conversation. So when Ananda is present, that capturing was done by Ananda. But when Ananda was not present, who captured it? Who know that story, okay? And it is like this. Okay, forget about the reasons lah. Buddha told Ananda what happened. And I want you to see this. When he was staying in Uruwela at the bank of the Niranjara River, when was this? Eileen? First enlightened, right? At Bodh So the Buddha said, right at Bodh Niranjara, Mara came and kacau me. And Mara said, hey, hello, go. And he said, I will not be elected. So that conversation with Mara about when he will be extinguished, that conversation, Mara came and threw it back at him. So actually, it was the Buddha who first said those words at Niranjara. This is way before he set up the nun order, right? And here he is talking about monastic for monks and nuns. Isn't this conclusive? Unless you say this conversation never took place, then you decide. If you say this conversation took place, meaning the conversation with Ananda and Buddha, if that conversation took place, this took place. This is what he said. He said monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, community. Which to me is pretty conclusive, you know. It's basically saying, right at the start of his dispensation, he already saw it's going to have a nun order. So what's this nonsense about him being not keen, right? There's all this nonsense about him being not keen and how Ananda had to persuade him and all this. I think that was a later addition. Okay? Because not a lot of people caught this, happily just went through. How many of you read Mahaparinibbana Sutta? Did you catch this? Because you skip all the words. I already told you, don't skip the words. Sometimes one funny word appear, you have to catch it. Okay? And it's the 5 conditions. 1A, 1, 2, 3, 4, B. Those were the conditions. Okay? And then he said, Mara came again at Kapala Shrine, and I told him, yes, I agree, 3 months from now it's done. So he reported to Ananda, whereupon Ananda went, oh no, stay for the No, Ananda said all the right words now. Stay for the out of this. Buddha says, stop it. He did it a second time. Buddha says, stop it. He did it a third time. Buddha says, stop it. Buddha said, do you have faith? Do you have faith in the realized one's awakening? This phrase is to be remembered. What do you have faith in? You must have faith in the Buddha's awakening. Because if you have faith in his awakening, you will have faith in the Dhamma, and you will have faith in the practice. Sangha is practice, okay? So the Buddha said, do you have faith in the awakening? Yes. Then why you keep pressing me? Then he said, I remembered you ever said that someone who has done itipada, solid, solid, make a vehicle, a basis, kept them up, consolidated, you will be able to extend for a full lifespan. And then the Buddha said, do you have faith, Ananda? They said, yes. Then this phrase, this is the very jalat's phrase. Mistake is yours. All your fault. You die so ugly. All your fault. I already told you so many times, all your fault. So my question to you, did this conversation happen? Did it happen like this? Okay, let's take a vote. Right? Who say no, it never happened? Hands up. Okay, no, it never happened. No, it never happened like this. Okay? No, it never happened, hands up. No, it never happened like this, hands up. Why? 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 Buddha wouldn't be like that, oh. Buddha. This kind of assertions, this kind of assertions, you gong only like, I don't believe Buddha said it like that. Proof. Huh? Okay, the proof is a bit far. I show you the proof here. So next time, anybody ask you, the proof is here. Buddha, according to this account, this segment, said it 15 times. You all skip all this, I was staying at Vulture Peak. I said to you, la 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 la. Then you never say anything. I stay at 𝑚𝑎ℎ𝑎 𝑝𝑎ℎ𝑎 Banyan Tree, Bandage Cliff, Saptapatan. Like 15 times. What is this? This to me, I say it here, I say it here, I say it here, I say it here. I someone say here, someone here, someone here, someone here. Count 15 already or not? It's someone here. So think of it this way. I went to Papa Villa, I told you. I went to BF East, I told you. I went to BF West, I told you. I went to Vivo City, I told you. This is what it means. You think Buddha will say 15 times? Do you think Buddha will say it 15 times? And finally at Kapala last time, number 15. I tired already, so I let go. Do you think he will do it 15 times? You tell me. Hello, yes or no? Cannot be, right? But Buddha cepat bosejo. To me, this reads like the where of India. Vaishali, all the tourist spots of Vaishali, and all the tourist spots of Rajagaha. These are the places Buddha visited. Come. So you see the advertisement in front of Satapani Cave, right? Come. Buddha was here. Then come. Bamboo Grove, Buddha was here. Then come. Jivaka Mango Grove, Buddha was here. It's nonsense lah. So that's your evidence. It cannot be. Buddha will say it once. Say it 3 times in one sitting, I believe. Say it 15 times times 3. It's not just 15 times, It's 15 times 3, I don't believe. Agree? So, therefore, this segment, the yellow segment, and to the end, it's written, it's probably, no, not probably, must have been inserted by people very angry with Ananda. Fair point, right? It's a fair point, right? Why would the 15 times 3, mind you, is 15 times 3, 15, right? 15. Why 16? Yeah, 16. It's 16 times 3, Okay? Not possible, right? That's your argument. Like these, who can argue? Okay. This was from Buddha, this part. Did I not prepare for this when I explained we will be parted and separated from all we hold dear and beloved? It sounds like Buddha, right? How could it be that something born, created, conditioned, liable to wear out, would not wear out? This portion is definitely, this is vintage Buddha. It's what he has been teaching all his life. Then he said, surrendered already, cannot take back. That's the next line. Done already cannot be undone. So this one is vintage Buddha. Agree? Before that, it's all nonsense. It reads like the tourist brochure for where to go when you go to Vaishali, for the ancient ones, for the people of his time. You want to retrace the Buddha's step? Come, let us bring you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay? Then he told Ananda. So you see, he told his attendant, and then he told Ananda. He told Ananda, the attendant. Then he said, let's go tell the Sangha. Now that's vintage Buddha, okay? They went to hall with the peak roof. To you, sounds nothing. But this hall with the peak roof, very special. Because ancient India, this particular type of roof, rare. So this was like a special place, okay? They were all there. He assembled them. And then he said, at your convenience, let's go. Okay, so he went. Okay, He set out. Now look at what he said. You must always pay attention to all these powerful words, because it is his one of his last injunction to these monks. You must memorize the things I've taught you from my direct knowledge. So he saw for himself the mind. This is how it works. The Dhamma, this word direct knowledge means experiential Dhamma. Dhamma msi kong. It's not talk, ting, reason. Dhamma is felt, is experienced, is felt. Okay? So taught from my direct knowledge, you must memorize. And then you cultivate, develop. Cultivate means it's nothing there. You know, like cultivating a field. You don't have it, so you cultivate it. You build it up. And over time, you develop. And then make much of them. Make much of them means you've got to consolidate them. If they can do it. So the first critical part about it, which is back to his earlier A1 and 2. You must have people who knows the path and cultivate the path and live in accordance with the path. You don't have that, the Dhamma will start to fade. It will start to fade. You cannot teach Dhamma without having the experience of it. It has to be experiential knowledge. Okay? Dhamma can be taught only by someone with the experiential knowledge. That's what it means. And then to keep this going, you want to learn it, you've got to apply it. It has to be part of you. If you have people with the experiential knowledge teaching, then the Dhamma practice will last. It's one generation of practitioner passing it to the next generation of practitioner. And over the centuries, it goes on. It is not, the Dhamma is not found in the Buddha Rupa, in the building, in the statues, in the rituals. It is not. It is found in the knowledge and the understanding. The understanding and the application, the practice. Okay? And then he said, so that's point 1. Point 2, for the welfare and happiness of people. So this is something a practitioner must always remember. You don't practice for yourself only. You practice so that you can help others. To share. What are you sharing? You don't blindly go and help. You must fix your own mind, then go and help. Correction. I shall now say it a little bit differently. I know how I've been saying it in the past. Now I'm saying it like, you have to fix your mind and help. Not one after the other. Then your whole lifetime never fix your mind, then how? Whole lifetime you blur, wander around, you do nothing. No. Fix your mind. As you fix, you help. Okay? Whatever you know, you do. Okay? Because that will be the condition for benefit, welfare, and happiness of others. Condition. You fixing your mind, you understanding the Dhamma, You rewire and transform yourself. As you do that, you are creating the condition that benefit others, that is for others' welfare, that is for others' happiness. Okay? Compre? And then he said, what are those things I have thought from my direct knowledge? 4 kinds of mindfulness meditation, 4 right efforts, 4 bases of psychic powers, 5 faculties, 5 powers, 7 awakening factors, 8 noble eightfold path. He said, factors of enlightenment, 37 factors of enlightenment. 37 factors of enlightenment fundamentally means the critical mental states you need to have to realize, to be awakened. These are mental states, okay? You need to have these mental states to be awakened. Okay? So, to sum up this point, he fundamentally makes 2 points. 3 points. 3 color, 3 point. Color 1, it's about your own cultivation, your own practice. You cultivate what? You practice what? You cultivate these 37 factors, these mental states. You cultivate these necessary mental states. Cultivate, develop, make much of. Consolidate them. You do all these things so that you create that condition to help others. Okay? Okay. Then the Buddha said, come on, monks, I say to you all, conditions will fall apart, meaning you will die. The critical thing here, you will die. Conditions will fall apart. So you must practice, change, rewire the brain. And then, sayonara, 3 months from now. 3 months from now, done. Okay? I've reached a ripe old age. Little of my life is left. Having given it up, I'll depart. I've made a refuge for myself. That's about him. I'm done. That para 1 is, I'm done. A refuge, I've made a refuge for myself, is he himself, his mind, his mind is very protected. His mind, it's a refuge. His mind is totally at peace, in other words. A refuge is where you find peace. So his mind is totally at peace, is totally secure. That's what he means. You be diligent, be mindful, be of good virtues. You need this condition so the mind becomes well settled. With well settled mind, take good care, thoughts, take good care of your mind. Whoever meditates diligently in this, look at the word, teaching and training. I've been saying this again and again and again. The Dhamma is that 2 parts. The guidance, the teaching, nature of reality, teaching, and the training, factors of enlightenment, rewiring, reshaping, shifting your mind, inculcating new habits, new mental states. You can do that. You will give up these rebirths, transmigration through rebirths. When there is no rebirth, that is the end of suffering. As long as there's a rebirth, congratulations, you won the booby prize, come suffer again. Okay? Okay, that's the end of the 3rd recitation. Question? Any question?
Do we have any questions on site? If not, I can start off with one question online. I think, Sister, one of the question is, didn't the Buddha say don't go arguing with others? I think this is maybe addressing the part that you say we need to defend Dhamma.
I know. When a person argue, they can argue for many, many reasons lah. Okay? And I agree. There are many things you don't have to go and argue back. But in defense of the Dhamma, when someone is talking Dhamma wrong, assuming you know lah. Because if you don't know, you don't argue. Don't like, I'm a Buddhist, I must argue. You must know what you are saying. You listen. So there are certain conditions you have to spring to action if you know. If you don't know, then do what his monks did. Go and check. They go check back with teacher. They don't say anything. Someone in another school will say that you said that, we also have that. What's the difference? They stare and went, I go back, ask my teacher. Then they all went back and told the Buddha. The Buddha said, these guys are talking nonsense. And then he will explain. So, under what conditions will you argue? Number one, if they are misrepresenting the Buddha, you're going to keep quiet? If they are misrepresenting the Buddha and you know, are you going to keep quiet? Minimally, you will say something to the effect. You can say it nicely and kindly. And you can say, I don't know a lot yet, but I do believe the point you're making is not consistent with his teaching. You can say it like that. By saying, I don't know a lot, you spare yourself pain from having to argue what you don't know. But you must at least point out, if say, Buddha say life is suffering, do you agree? The answer is no, you shouldn't, it's wrong. He never said it like this. He said the noble truth of suffering. He didn't say life is suffering. Arahant got life, right? All the Sotapanna, Anagami, they all got life, right? They are not suffering. Any wise person who is not having a lot of craving, they don't suffer. It is not life is suffering. It's that if you have certain habits and instincts, and those habits and instincts get a bit out of control, you suffer. Okay? So, you must at least point out, I think the Buddha didn't say it like that, you know. You can at least say that. It caused them a bit of confusion. Confusing them with, if they are getting it wrong, they get confused is a good thing, it's not a bad thing. Then they won't be so arrogant talking about it. In his lifetime, he whacked the Vedas. Not whack, okay, maybe too strong the word. He disagreed. I think we should. Otherwise, you're perpetuating wrong view leh. By not saying anything, it's perpetuating wrong view. But if they say, and this is where I will come in and say, this one you don't have to argue. If they say, if whoever said, well, I am of such and such of faith, this is my belief, this is what we teach, okay lah. It's nothing to do with you, ma. And those I'm okay. Really? Tell me more. I find it a good educational process, ma. To learn a little bit more about other people's faith. I'm okay. You should be okay. They say it's their faith, ma. Right? But if they say your faith teach this and it's not like that, you have to say something. So all those monks that the Buddha taught to argue is because when people say, our teaching, your teaching is the same, so what's so different? Then they didn't know what to say. They have to go back and check with the master. The master said, I teach you. So the master taught that law. Okay?
So I have quite a few questions online, but I would like to give the people on site the opportunity first.
They're very happy here.
All very happy.
Yeah, they're all very happy here.
Okay, you missed the opportunity already. Okay, so the next question. May I know, immediately after Buddha enlightenment, did Mara came to Buddha first or Brahma Shammapati? As the Buddha already told Mara, he will establish the fourfold Sangha, but Brahma Shamapati requested the Buddha to propagate the Dhamma.
You can guess, likely to be the other way around, ma. The sequence should be Brahma, then Mara, ma.
Okay,
Yeah.
then the next question.
But of course, we cannot verify Buddha, lah. He's the only one there, unless Brahma, Sahampati, or Mara come here and I was there first. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Which sutta can explanation of each of the 37 factors of enlightenment be found?
Many sutta, in entire sections in the Samyutta Nikaya. Entire sections in the Samyutta SN. The connected discourses. Entire sections. So I cannot remember exactly. When you just go and flip the Samyutta Nikaya, you see that. 5 powers, meditation, mindfulness, there are a whole bunch of them.
Then the next question. I'm not clear why the Buddha needed to hint to Ananda about extending his lifespan. Couldn't the Buddha extend his lifespan by himself? Thank you.
He's got no desire. He has no desire. He wanted desire to extend lifespan. He's just giving the world a chance, asking by proxy Ananda. He gave the world a chance. He has no desire for this life. You must know that. His mind is not the same as ours. We have desire for life. We have desire for the external world and the internal world, the mind. He has none. He is literally, think of it like this. Okay, think of it like this. It's a very poor illustration, but you push me on the spot, right? I will think of something. So think of it like this. You are full. You don't feel like eating anymore. Someone asks you, what would you like to go for dinner? What's your answer going to be? Anything, whatever, like that law, isn't it? So he's full of life already. He's over. He's not interested in life anymore. But your family has to eat, right? So what would you do? Would you say, I don't want to go? Or would you say, whatever you're like, I go along? Right? Because you're giving, ma. You accommodate, ma. So he's full of life already. He's not interested in life. He doesn't want it anymore. So he's just, do you still want? You don't want me around? That's basically what he's saying. Do you want me around? Another went, na. Buddha, I go there and play, okay? Buddha went, whatever. Then that's it, over. Then he let it go. It's very sad, actually. And you cannot blame Ananda. So that's why the Sangha was very angry with him. I'm very sure. Sangha was angry with him. That's why it went in like that. Buddha scold, Ananda scold. Like, did you even realize that you misrepresenting the poor Buddha? So poor thing, right? Buddha probably said, I already told you, you didn't ask, then what else you want? Dana, swat la. Buddha would have said it like that. Okay? Okay? Yeah?
To be fair, my feeling is if Buddha already say until he's struggling, wouldn't it be very hard for Ananda to say, please stay on?
No, but Ananda would have said it. If he knows it, he would have said it.
Okay, then the last question.
And the other point that just struck me as I was talking, right? Ananda Buddha has a lot of conversation. Ananda is always with him. So they have a lot of conversation. Ananda cannot be expected to remember everything they have said, right? So why I make that point is because sometimes you talk. You may miss something. Because you're so used to having conversation, you may not realize the significance of what's being said. Do you understand? If I rarely talk to you, if rarely we talk, and then now we talk, surely what I say makes a lot of, will have the impact. But we, morning also talk, afternoon also talk, nighttime also talk. In the nighttime, after supper, while we are walking, we still talk. Because they talk a lot. He's always with the Buddha. He's like the Buddha's shadow. In fact, that's how it was described about Ananda. The Buddha's shadow is always there. So because of that, and the Buddha, he would have, I mean, of course, they not chit-chat lah. Like, come, let's go and chit-chat. No lah. Of course, they talk Dhamma, right? Chim-chim stuff. So he has got a lot of the chim-chim stuff from the Buddha. And the result of which is, I'm not surprised that he missed this one, which I think was probably what happened. That randomly he said, you know, if somebody has this kind of a power, they can actually live extended. The Buddha was like, gather it as knowledge. Really? Now let me go and do 𝑖𝐷𝑖𝑏𝑎, right? It might just be an innocent like that. So that's why when Ananda reported the event, he didn't say Mara's fault. He said, as if. So actually, for those who say that Ananda's mind was bamboozled by Mara, not sure. It actually doesn't say it like that. Okay? It's just that Mara had the misfortune of coming so soon after Ananda left. Then you connect dot happily, then you connected like that, lor. Mara's fault. Mara got such power over the mind of Sotapanna. Don't know. Inconclusive. So this conversation, this talk is to first bring to your attention some of the key moments in history, and for you to know what is written in those texts, and for you to then decide for yourself. I point out some things to you, and that hopefully will enrich your appreciation of that period. And these are important milestones. Okay? So next time, don't say that Ananda's fault. Ananda forgot. Ananda this and Ananda that. He already feel very bad. Okay? Don't keep saying. Yes. Your voice is recorded for posterity.
So wouldn't Buddha figure out for himself that the longer he stayed, the more he would benefit the people?
He doesn't think like that. He will not think much. You see, for us, because all of us sit on craving. Our driver is craving. We all have that. Because of that, we have a lot of thought formation. If you have very minimal craving, you don't have a lot of thought formations. It's very little. So the Buddha, because he has no craving, he has got no thought formation. You will notice that in the sutta, it always says it like this, and a thought arises. Have you ever seen that phrase? And a thought arises. Which means actually it's nothing. Nothing there. Then something came out. And that something come out always has to do with Dhamma. Always. So it's not driven by an internal craving. It's driven by that. There is a knowing this is important. There's a knowing this is important. So you will see his thought arising always had to do with Dhamma. What does that mean? It means he won't think. He will not say, I should be around. I think a lot of people still need me. Let me calculate. One time impact 20,000. Live another 40 more years. He will think of nothing. He has no thoughts. He will just, okay, there's this option. You want or not? Don't want? Done. Like that. So do not, if you ever in your subsequent journey, just plant the seed in your subsequent journey, you might. You practice very well. You anchor yourself on the Dhamma. The next Maitreya come along. You could be there. You could be there. Plant the seed. He no think a lot one. All Buddhas do not think a lot. They really don't. Minimal. No craving. No desire. You want something to ask. Cough start ready. Cough start.
Next question. If not, I have another one from online. So this is addressing the part about having bhikkhuni order. How do we know this is not a later addition, the part on having bhikkhuni order at the time of enlightenment?
That's a very good question. And I will say it like this. For centuries, monks don't like having nuns with them. Okay? For centuries. That's why the stories got more and more outrageous. I can prove to you why he had every intention. So this is proof one. When it was set up, the entire Bhikkhuni order mimicked the monk order. He first chief disciple, second chief disciple, he has the same position. He accorded the nuns exactly the same respect and designation as he accorded the monks. If you go and look at Therigatha means the songs of the nuns. You go look at that, right? You will find that he actually actively went to recruit the nuns. There were many occasions when they said the Buddha came to them. For someone who is not keen, why would he go around picking up nuns? Why would he do that? Agree? Okay.
That was the last question from online. Any other questions? Oh, there's one there.
Sister Sylvia, 37 factors of alignments, there's 37 factors of enlightenments. There's 5 powers and 5 faculties. They are talking about the same stuff, isn't it?
They are the same, but faculty is the entry point. Power is when they mature. The mental states have matured.
Got it. Thanks.
So weaker and stronger, but they are the same. Okay, that's it. Done.
Looks like it. Okay, then let's go into sharing of merits.
Wait. So you remember this, huh? You all remember this. This is my trademark, so for the rest of time it will appear. But it is a good reminder. It is a good reminder because I just came from a retreat conducted in Ladakh. And the Bhante there said this, and I thought it was beautiful. He said, fundamentally, the Buddha's Dhamma is three key cultivation. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Okay? Dana is giving, it's generosity. Sila is restraining your own unwholesome, unskillful mental states so that you will always be adding to people's welfare, benefit, and happiness, and not the other way around. Bhavana is cultivation. So in our practice, dana, giving, sila, restraint, bhavana, cultivation, that fundamentally is the Dhamma. If you don't remember anything about the Buddha's teaching, just remember this. And he put dana as number 1. Generosity as number 1. Because it is about letting your instincts, letting go of your own pleasures and desires and preferences and so on. So that's why I always start this line. Remember to be generous, to be giving, to be helpful. And feel the joy in the process. You must feel the joy in that giving. Second point I talk about is, look, we are very lucky. Predecessors did it right. We are here as human in the age of the Dhamma, in conditions where we can learn and practice. This is not a given. 99.9% of the world don't have this as a condition. 99.999%. You're talking about billions of people. How many of you here? How many of us around the world who practice, who know, understand, practice? How many? The number is really minuscule. So we win the rebirth lottery. All of us are multi-billion karma heir. Yeah. We are. Much better than winning those material lottery. This one protects your life now and in future rebirth. No matter what you have done has already protected your rebirth. You have already created the condition for a good rebirth. And then finally, we hope that when we come back, Dhamma is still around for us. Otherwise, jialat. Go and roam around. I know I'm supposed to look for something. Oh, this one very nice. I'll be like that lah. But no one is bowing. You saw what happened in Central Asia, right? Central Asia and India. There are many parts where the Dhamma used to flourish, but it no longer does. So we hope that when we come back to a land of the Dhamma, that we can practice again, and that the Dhamma will last long. Okay. Finally, with all the joy that we have, let's share merits. This is Madam Lee Lily, passed away on the 4th September. Can I ask a moment of your time? In your mind, you wish her well-being, happiness, wherever that she has a reason. May she return to the Dhamma. May she be well and happy. And you can now fish out your handphone. Look at that sign. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of background. Today I can take a few minutes. A group of us are actively supporting Hospice Care Association. Hospice Care provides home care for dying patients. People with about 6 months left, but they're staying at home. And so this organization provides medicine and medical aid and medical support. So doctors and nurses will go in to help them. I've been with them for 30, I know them since the 30s, 30 years ago. I only go back recently to help, okay? And some of them are here. If you're interested, you can ask them. Bernard, who else? Elaine, yeah, these are their rep. They are going to have an event to raise fund for them, for the patient. If you would like to help, please donate kindly and freely. They're very low profile, so not a lot of people know them, unfortunately. But they're doing really good work. So for those of you whose family, you know of people who are dying, there's a very high chance, if they die at home, there's a very high chance that these guys were involved looking after them. My own father had them coming in for about a month or so before he passed on. He totally loved it. He looked forward to their visit. So people like us who joined this organization, we sometimes will go down and go to visit patients' house and all. So this fundraising, this money, is to, one, support the patient for medical aid and all, and two, support the center. They have got 2 centers, one at Outram. The other one, I think, is Muslin or something. Muslin, right? Where patients go there daily, provided transport to take them there free. Everything free, everything free. Yeah, transport to bring them there, and then while there, you provide respite for the family. So, my personal appeal on their behalf, if you're interested, click that QR code. It will take you all the way in. And then you do what's necessary. Okay? Thank you very much. It's over to you.
Let's say 3 sadhus first. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now let us do dedication of merits to all celestial beings. Akasata Jabumata Dewa Naga Mahidika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Churakrakantu Lokasasanang Akasata Jabumata Dewa Naga Mahidika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Churakrakantu Dhamma Desanang Akasata Jabumata Dewa Naga Mahidika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Churakrakantu Mang Parang. Let us invite all sentient beings to participate in our acquired merits. 𝑒𝐻𝑎 𝑝𝑎𝑟𝑖𝑛𝑖𝑏𝑏𝑎 Sampadang punya sampadang Sabbe dewa anumodantu Sabba sampati siddhya Ita vata cha'am hehi Sampadang punya sampadang Sabbe bhuta anumodantu Sabba sampati siddhya Ita vata cha'am hehi Sampadang punya sampadang Sabbe satta anumodantu Sabba sampati siddhya. Let us dedicate the merits of participating in a wholesome Dhamma activity to our departed relatives and friends. Idam me nyatinang hontu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinang hontu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinang hontu sukita hontu nyatayo. End of service dedication. I dedicate the merits which I have accumulated to the cultivation of my mind in order to bring happiness and benefits to all sentient beings. I dedicate the merits to my parents, children, spouse, relatives, friends, colleagues, and my adversaries, wishing them long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. May we never part from the Triple Gem, and may we always walk the path towards enlightenment. Let us pay respects to the Triple Gem. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Avivadevi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangham Namami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Sister Sylvia, for the talk, despite you feeling not well today, you can see. And many thanks to all the brothers and sisters for joining us today as well. Have a happy Sunday and join us for the potluck. And remember the mulberry leaves as well before you leave. Enjoy the rest of the day.